Welcome to Finland for the round 12 of the FIM MX1 Motocross World Championship. My name is Paul Maiden. You join us live. Temperature creeping up, 25 degrees. Could get even hotter as well a little later on. But the MX1 guys have just had their sighting lap. Just cruising towards the end of it, as you can see. And mechanics are down there in the waiting zone, ready for them to get back. Good crowd here this weekend. It's the first time we've been to this Finland circuit since 1991. Pekka Vähkönen, the winner that day. A Finn winning his home Grand Prix. He was a two-time winner as well, but past winners also include his uncle Kalevi and also Heikki Mikkola, the great four-time world motocross champion, three of those coming in the 500cc class. We've had 21 Grand Prix here over the years, all of them except one coming in the 250 category, which is now MX1, of course. The other one was 1985 in the 125 class, won by Davy Strybos. But today's riders, it's pretty fair to say, have never been to this racetrack before in the past, unless, of course, you're from these parts. But it's a tough circuit, it's a challenging one. There'll be a lot of laps raced around here in MX1 Race 1, and it's really going to be a survival of the fittest. The question is, who's going to win out and come out on top? That's a flat plan of the racetrack, 1,550 meters long. It's pretty warm out there, 25 degrees. The breeze seems to have dropped as well a little bit, and there is cloud cover occasionally, probably for the first time actually this weekend. Beautiful blue skies since we arrived Thursday, so it's been pretty hot all weekend long. But riders coming back from their sighting lap, but before they went out, Amy Dargan caught up with a couple of riders, and let's hear who she's got with her, hear what they have to say.
We're back down on the start line for MX1 Race 1. We're going to have a quick word with Ken Dodika. Ken, you put yourself in fourth in qualifying yesterday, and then those last few laps, it looked as though you'd run into some troubles.
Yeah, the rear wheel broke down, so yeah, took it easy. Didn't want to stop the whole thing, so 12 still was okay. So I hope today better result. Just keep focusing and working hard.
And talk me through this track, because it's a brand new track for most people here. Is there anything that particularly stands out?
It's getting rough, and that's how a track's supposed to be. So it's going to be good for Moto 40 minutes. It's going to be hard on it, but it's making no mistakes and keeping the bike straight, and it's going to be perfect.
Thanks, Ken. We hope to see you on the podium later. Right, that's all from us down here on the start line.
As you saw, the riders disappeared, but before we get to the action, let's catch up with the Ice One Racing KTM riders, managed by Antti Pirinen.
Yeah, I was not scared when I started with KTM Ice One, but I was working since 5 years with factory team, and I was really surprised when I came here how team was really professional, and we get a new workshop, new trailer, new brand of bikes, and KTM has a really strong engine. That's really the positive points. After we had to work on the stability of the bike, but now I'm 100% happy with that, and I have a good feeling with the bike.
Partnering with KTM has been great. You know, they are so professional, and they can support us on many different levels and ways. And we are here purely for racing, and we want to really make a good work. And Finnish mentality, of course, is that we are proud to do a good job.
Since the beginning I started to feel really comfortable on the bike. Obviously we tried it always with my mechanics, with the team manager, with Antti. We've been making steps forward, which was important to the performance and to improve the results, and they put a lot of effort into this. That was really a pleasure and a lot of excitement to see that everyone is doing his job at 100% and not just under that.
I used to race on many different teams. There was some better ones, and I really tried to think, of my own career, which things I like it, and try to channel all that experience and information to this team.
Well, despite the enhancements made to the team, injuries still happened for the riders, but Gonçalves took his rehab for a knee injury incredibly seriously.
At the moment I knew I needed to do that surgery because it was not gonna work anymore with injections or painkillers. At that moment, I just set on my mind that, well, this is where we're gonna start from. We're gonna do this surgery and get out of there. I went alone to the hospital, did it all by myself, and just done it, come home, and then it was a new beginning for me. I don't have a lot of expectations on the results and stuff. I just, want to ride my bike at the best what I can do and then just focus on that.
Let's say if tennis maximum to be the most nervous, I think it's 7, because I try to keep this home GP weekend same for the team like every other weekend. So on that side there is nothing major.
We try to make everything really, really perfect, and he's a perfectionist. So he wants that everything is clean, and yeah, he has a lot of pressure, I think, for this GP, but he's also really excited, and we are excited to ride here also.
The sun sits high in the sky. Sal was the winner in the qualifying race yesterday, ahead of Tony Cairoli, Kevin Strybos and Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, with Bobryshev, Searle, Gauthier Paulin, Rui Gonçalves and Max Nagel, followed by Sean Simpson, bringing up the top 10. It was a second pole position for Sal on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 machine. For Rui Gonçalves, it was the 5th time. He finished 8th on the MX1 Racing KTM, and we just saw team owner there, Kimi Räikkönen, up in the MX1 Racing box just above the pit lane area. There's Tony Cairoli. Had to work hard, actually. Came from outside the top 10, got into 9th by the end of the lap 1. Had a bit of cat and mouse with Tommy Searle, about 3 or 4 laps, but eventually went through and took a rider a lap, got him up to 4th place before storming back into 2nd, demoting Kevin Strybos with about 4 laps to go. Van Hoorbeek was 3rd, Bobryshev 4th, Searle was 5th, who had a big crash this morning in the morning warm-up. Fortunately, he's okay, though. Bit of a sore neck and shoulders. Did go down hard. Gauthier Paulin 7th, Gonçalves 8, Nagel 9, Simpson 10, Roulance 11, De Dijker fell from 4th to 12th as his rear wheel broke up, and then Heron Bracker, number 61, with his best qualifying in 13th. And then Mattis Caro, Tano Leop, Jonathan Barragan, Jus Lansu, August Just and David Philipparts. The number 19 going from 11th to 19th by the time the checkered flag fell. Monster Energy 15-second board is up. We're getting ready to go racing here. Once again, it's going to be MX1 Race 1. Tony Cairoli leads the championship by a massive 82 points over Gauthier Paulin, with Clément Sal another 18 points further back. De Dijker sits 4th, and Strybos is 5th. Against the heads go down. The gate is about to drop here. Good reaction from Cairoli and also Nagel, but Nagel getting out-dragged by the 350, and it's to Sal, who gets the Gethina Whole Shot Award. And Rui Gonçalves, MX1 Racing KTM in 2nd, Strybos 3rd, Cairoli 4th at the inside of one of the Monster Energy Yamahas as a couple of riders collide and go down at the back with Philipparts. Mark Barragan's gone down, and so too has 177, Marko Kovalainen and Heron Bracker. Is that Tommy Searle? Yeah, Searle's down, Leop's down. So Tommy Searle hating life at the moment, a lot of water gone down on the track. after MX2 Race 1. Couldn't quite see how that happened, but maybe we'll get a replay in a moment. But it's Clement de Sal, Rui Gonçalves second, Strybos third, Cairoli fourth, Philipparts fifth, Van Hoorbeek sixth, Roulants it was on the Montreal Yamaha seventh. As we pick up our race lead. Oh, and who's gone down in the background? Philipparts, I think, going out of fifth place. Just in that turn 5, that long, that tricky right-hander that just peaks uphill in the deep sand. It's Van Hoorbeek, shirt flapping in the breeze. Here's our race leader, 25 to Sal. 999, Rui Gonçalves second. The yellow helmet of Tony Cairoli, the 222 is in third. Then it's the 22 of Kevin Strybos in fourth. Then the flash of green in the background, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek. He's in fifth place because we've now lost David Philipparts on the opening lap. We've lost Tommy Searle on the opening lap as well. So Searle, he's got a lot of work to do. David Eglineri in 20th position. Wasn't sure if he was going to ride. He did free practice yesterday. Didn't go out in time training. Didn't go out in the qualifying race. Went out for a couple of laps in morning warm-up this morning. He's got an ankle injury from Latvia, has David Eglineri, but he's out there trying to brave it at the moment. He's going to be a guest on our live show on MX Live TV a little later on, but we've had a lap complete, and it's Clement de Sal, Gonçalves second, Cairoli third, Strybos fourth, Van Hoorbeek, Bobryshev, Simpson seventh, Roulants eighth, Didika ninth, and in 10th place it's Max Nagel. As we look at Tony Cairoli, the 222 in third place here in the yellow helmet, going after the 999, the MX1 Racing KTM rider of Rui Gonçalves of Portugal. Tries to cut it to the inside on the harder part of the circuit in terms of the nature of the ground. A little bit rocky on the top of the hill there. But the bumps square-edged in places, rolly in others, like through the corners there. Cairoli up on the pegs, neatly done as well. There's Strybos in the background and Van Hoorbeek in fifth place. Bobryshev sixth, Honda World Motocross. Sean Simpson, JK SKS Gebben Yamaha is seventh. Roulants and the Monster Energy Yamaha is eighth. Ninth is Didika Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, teammate to this guy here, the 222 of Antonio Cairoli, who wheelies onto the face of the tabletop nicely. Does he find a way at the inside of Rui Gonçalves? Yes, he does. Gonçalves knew he was there, almost let him through. And then he gets the front wheel tagged by Cairoli and drops down to fourth place behind Kevin Strybos. So Cairoli then disappearing into second as Rui Gonçalves looks to find a way back past the guy ahead of him here, Kevin Strybos, on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 entry. Cairoli on the charge here. He's in second now. 3 seconds down on Clement de Sal, our race leader. Knew that Cairoli was there, look. Let him in. Then Cairoli, well, racing incident anyway. Wasn't deliberate, wasn't blatant. Just caught the rear wheel, tipped over. Strybos went round the outside. Rui Gonçalves remounts in fourth. Van Hoorbeek on the charge in the background, look, on the green. Kawasaki's got the big Russian, number 777, Evgeny Bobryshev in red here, just behind him in sixth place. Then it's Sean Simpson, there's a gap to him. Then Didika in eighth, Paulin ninth, Roulants 10th, Nagel, Eriksson, Caro, Philipparts 14th, Lansu 15th, Soderberg 16th, just Guarneri, Brackett, Gertcher looking for Tommy Searle, who got caught up at turn 2 on the opening lap. He's down in 24th place at the moment. So got a lot of work to do, has Tommy Searle. So too has Rui Gonçalves, look, trying to get himself back onto the rear wheel of the 22. Kevin Strybos, but the 89 of Jeremy Van Hoorbeek on the green. Kawasaki there, looking interested in closing down on that fourth place. He's the lead KRT rider, Kawasaki Racing Team. The factory effort from Japan. Gauthier Paulin buried in ninth place at the moment. That's the message for Jeremy Van Hoorbeek from Guido, push hard. Tough track though. Big long wave section here. There's only 7 of those, but braking bumps where they land, and he's going around the outside of the Portuguese rider. Whoa, could be a bit of bar banging going on as they come over the finish line jump. He switches it back to the left-hand side. Gonçalves is going to put the squeeze on him as they go through turn 1, but I'm guessing Van Hoorbeek will square off and come back down the left here. Oh, drag race, and he does go through. Keeps it a lot lower. He'll have the inside line. Gonçalves will go wide. Loses a bit of ground. Will he lose out to Bobryshev? No. Bobryshev not quite close enough. But Didika's closing in 7th. There he is off the tabletop in the background. But DeSalle still leads. He's 3.2 clear of Tony Cairoli at the moment. Strybos third, Gonçalves fourth. Van Hoorbeek now fourth there. Then it's Rui Gonçalves, back from keyhole knee surgery. Came back on a bike last week in Latvia, so we've got to start somewhere, but he's doing a good job. He got a good start, and he's now in fourth. And Hoorbeek, sorry, he's in fifth because Van Hoorbeek's just gone through into fourth. Just under 29 minutes to go. Still the very early stages of MX1 Race 1, the Finnish Grand Prix at Ervinka, about 50 kilometers or 30 miles or so north of Helsinki. Clement DeSalle continues to lead on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 machine. And this guy here, 222, the six-time world champion, Antonio Cairoli, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, is in second. He's 3 seconds down on the Belgian, though. The second of the Rockstar Suzukis, Kevin Strybos in third, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek fourth, Rui Gonçalves fifth there, 9.99, but he's got the big Russian. Oh, look at Portland. Portland is on the charge because the 21, the factory Kawasaki rider, was nowhere on the first lap. He now storms into 8th place. He's got the Dijker, Bobashev, Gonçalves right ahead of him as he comes out of turn 1, and there's going to be a freight train of traffic heading down into turn 2. So Portland, again, giving too much of an advantage to Tony Cairoli and Clement DeSalle, particularly the championship leader. It's Gonçalves now coming under pressure, having to defend, looks across at his shoulder. Bobashev on the red Honda, jumps up to the inside. Is he going to go through in the tight left at the top of the hill? Yeah, he does, and pushes the Portuguese right wide. And as a result, the Dijker squares back up the inside and goes past Gonçalves. So 2 positions lost at the top of the hill. And Gonçalves now goes from 5th to 7th. Gauthier Portland is going to be knocking on the door any moment now. Is he going to be coming from the left or the right, though? Well, he follows Gonçalves in through that turn 5. Where's Max Nagel? He's in 10th place, teammate to the 777, but the guy on the charge at the minute, though, is the number 9, Kenda Dijker. Sided his way through the pack yesterday. Hadn't been for a broken rear wheel, probably would have been top 3 in the qualifying race, but Gauthier Portland, number 21 there, the green Kawasaki, switching across the right-hand side, try to open up the turn here. Got Rui Gonçalves just not holding him up at the moment, but doing a good job of staying there in that 6th position. 7th position now is where he is. A couple of mistakes, left the door open a little bit as well. Tano Leop, he was down in that turn 2 crash with Tommy Searle and the Richie TM Racing KTM rider. Not getting any better for him in race 1. Looked like DeSalle was going around the outside there in the background as well, so already being lapped, it would appear. 21, Gauthier Portland tries to switch to the inside. This might be, yeah, turn 2. No look in that corner for Leok today. Oh, and, off the bike. Oh, does he save it? Portland. Oh, big moment for him. Caught his foot, yes. You know his heart's beating there. He caught his foot in a rut. It snatched his legs off the side of the bike. That jump there into the background. And that was a big, big, big moment for Gauthier Portland. Watch this. Legs already off the bike. He lands, he's very lucky. He side saddled it when he landed. And he's still trying to keep it going. Reminiscent of Randy Momola all those years ago in 500cc Road Race Grand Prix, when he got himself high-sided off the side of the bike. But Portland still stays there in 8th place, but it's cost him time to Rui Gonçalves, to Dijker and Bobashev and Van Hoorbeek, all the way back up to 4th. Although, has he found a way back? No, that's Nagel in the background. I was going to say, did he find a way past Bobashev at some point? But Nagel, who's riding with a suspected virus or stomach bug or flu bug or something like that. Always going to be a tough place for him to come this weekend. Warm conditions, tough, gnarly, sandy racetrack. Max Nagel doing an okay job there in 9th place, just trying to pick up as many points as possible. Kimi Räikkönen, team owner for Ice One Racing. Haven't seen him all weekend, but he's made the short drive up from Helsinki today to be with the team. Loves his motocross, been riding motorcycles for many, many, many years. likes to do enduro, and big friends with Stefan Everts as well, actually. And him and the boys are going to be riding this week. He's already been riding with Rui and Xavier during the week since he got back from F1 duty, but this weekend, F1 the furthest thing away from his mind, you would think. All about enjoying his day out at the races. Kenda Dijker, number 9, in 5th place. Genny Bobashev in the red on the World Motocross racing there, 777. He's in 6th, but the fastest split for Sector 1, 32.3. That's more than a second and a half quicker than Clément de Sales was Gauthier Paulin, so wasting no time getting back on the pace. Tano Leon parks the bike down in pit lane. Just looking down on the leaderboard. Tommy Searle now breaking inside the points after 5 laps, but he's still got 23.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Now it's Gauthier Paulin back on the rear wheel of Rui Gonçalves like he was 2 laps ago, before that big scary moment. Looking to find a way up the inside. Gonçalves defending, coming across at 45 degrees, takes the tight line into the final turn. Paulin gets bounced to the outside. Reluctant line choice there for the Frenchman. 6 laps complete. Clément de Sales, 2.4 seconds clear of Tony Cairoli. So the Suzuki leading the KTM rider. Kevin Strybos in 3rd. Jeremy Van Hoorbeek 4th. He's only 8 seconds off the lead. Then Kenda Dijker 5th. Bobashev 6th. Rui Gonçalves, we just saw him 7th, battling with Gauthier Paulin 8th. Max Nagel 9th. Roulant's 10th. Simpson 11th. Mathis Caro, STR Racing KTM, has just been pushed back to 13th, actually, as David Philipparts goes through to 12th on the Garibaldi Honda. As Paulin looks to have another look at the inside of Rui Gonçalves. This is a battle for 7th position. And we've got Jus Lantzu in 14th, Ludwig Soderberg, Davide Guarnieri on the Marchetti Racing KTM, Aaron Bracker 16th, Tommy Searle 18th. August Just and Jonathan Barragan, 2nd of the STR KTM, in 20th position. How deep those holes are there in the background. We always knew it was going to be sandy, as Paulin again just getting out of shape, trying to square off Rui Gonçalves. This time he's going to take the long way round, going to get on the gas, hits the jump first, lands it first. This time he goes through on the Portuguese rider. And drops into the tight left-hander at turn 9. Suddenly finds himself in 7th place, but big moment again for Gauthier Paulin. Just watch this, into the left-hander before the double. Gonçalves is already there, but just gets pitched here. Thought that Gonçalves was going to go a little bit tighter. 2 lines came together, was off the side of the bike, and guy there in the background, hands on his head. Almost to ask, what are you doing? That's the gap between 1st and 2nd. Clément de Sales and Tony Cairoli. So the 2 giants of MX1, de Sales, Rockstar Energy, Suzuki, versus the Red Bull KTM factory rider, Tony Cairoli here, 222. Still riding with a slight knee injury that he picked up from Maggiore in Italy. His home Grand Prix. Riding through the pain barrier though. Guess he knows now with the knee injuries that he's had over the years what he can and can't ride with pain barrier wise. But de Sales looked good in qualifying yesterday, have to admit that. Started in 3rd, picked his way past Bobashev after a couple of laps, went after his teammate Kevin Strybos 3 laps later, and was never headed after that. And he looks to have opened up a slight gap over Tony Cairoli, but Cairoli probably won't mind too much about that this stage of the race. We've seen him perform the comebacks on more than one occasion over the years. Clément de Sales just the 2 race wins this year. That's Paulin going past Rui Gonçalves just a moment ago, putting him into 7th place. Clément de Sales just the 2 race wins this year. Race 1 Qatar, race 1 Italy. Couple of seconds, bunch of thirds. Couple of no scores as well, but one no score actually for Clément de Sales. 2nd race in Italy. That was the expensive one for him. But Tony Cairoli, 2.5 seconds down on Clément de Sales at the moment. looking to try and regroup if he can. There's Strybos, number 22, second of the Rockstar Energy Suzuki's. He's in third. Then the green Kawasaki, number 89, Van Hoorbeek in fourth, and the number 9, Ken Dyker, struggling to find the foot pegs there. He's in fifth place, Cairoli's teammate. Gap from him to Bobryshev, about 4 seconds. Then it's Gauthier Paulin. And about another 4 seconds back. And then Rui Gonçalves, 2 seconds back. So Gonçalves dropping to 8th, Nagel 9th, Roulant's 10th, Simpson 11th, Philippot's 12th. Don't forget, MX Live TV show. We've got Max Anstey, Stefan Everts, and Davide Guarnieri. So don't forget to get your questions to us on Twitter. Hashtag MXGP Live. That live show at 2:15, so about 30 minutes after this race has finished. Rui Gonçalves back down the piece of track where it was passed a moment ago by Paulin, and the turn where he clipped the rear wheel of Tony Cairoli and went from second to fourth. And Max Nagel closing in. The Honda World Motocross rider there, number 12, and so too Tony Cairoli. Said a moment ago, didn't we? Won't be too concerned that he's lost a little bit of ground, and he's now right on the rear wheel of 25, Clément Desalle, our race leader. So suddenly, Desalle going to be feeling the heat here. 17:40 on the clock, plus 2 laps. It's a 35-minute plus 2-lap race, so around about 40 minutes these guys will be racing for. Do it twice as well, because they're here at the moment. It is 1:27 local time, so 2 hours ahead of the UK, 1 hour ahead of Central European. And they will do it all again at 4 o'clock. So in about 2.5 hour time. Different choice of lines there. Desalle still going tight and tight. Cairoli taking the wide route. Oh, and a slight mistake there, dragging the leg out of the left-hander for the double jump, Clément Desalle. Is he starting to get nervous, knowing that Cairoli's there behind him? Oh, nicely done there, Cairoli. Launched on and launched over another big rolling wave there. Slightly overrun there from Desalle. 1 or 2 little mistakes just starting to creep into the Belgians' game now. Cannot race this track, you've got to ride it. You've got to be smart. As soon as you start to go too hard, it's when the mistakes will creep in, that's when it'll bite back. But Cairoli, he's hard up the inside and almost bar to bar with Desalle. So 10 laps complete as they come over the Monster Energy finish line. Back onto the start straight, past pit lane. Cairoli's going to sweep through as he goes through turn 1. Desalle knows he's there though, he's going to get defensive on the inside. Cairoli thought about going wide, but knows it's probably going to cost him too much time. A couple of bike lengths at least. Desalle. Sometimes you don't know how hard he's pushing. Cairoli trying to carve a new line there, a little bit wider angle going into that third turn. Just trying to open the corner up a little bit. All about momentum in the sand, remember. Back marker coming into play, Mikola Paczynski. Scott Racing KTM rider. Ukraine. Moves out of the way though. Knows Desalle's there. Probably know that Cairoli's there any moment now as well, as he flashes by him. So 15:20 on the clock. Battle for first between Desalle and Cairoli. These guys are pushing a really solid pace at the moment. 1:42 last time around. Their fastest lap has only been a 1:40. So Clément Desalle in the driving seat, but Tony Cairoli in the ascendancy. He's pulled that gap from just over 3 seconds. Over the last 10 laps, it's been backwards and forwards, but the last 2 or 3 laps, he's been right on the rear wheel of Clément Desalle. He tried to make a move here just a lap ago into the final corner, but wasn't able to get through there. Back marker takes a look over the shoulder, sees Desalle and Cairoli breathing down his neck. Moves out of the way, lets these guys get on with the task of racing. Cairoli thinking about squaring off the corner and dropping down the inside of the Suzuki. This time, is he going to go wide round the outside? Yeah, thinks about it. Just ran out of berm there, mid-corner, front end or the back end, just breaking the top of the berm then. Just lost him about 3 bike lengths. That's where Cairoli's going to start to get creative, he's got to. DeSalle just ahead of him. Elbows up, handlebars down low. Through turn 5, look how it tightens up, hooks back around just so the guys can get on the right side. That was so smooth through there yesterday when he did that, but Sylvain Gabors, he looks on. He was the first 2-time winner around here with Sylvain Gabors, after we'd had 6 different winners in the opening 6 Grand Prix from 1965, the first of which was won by Torsten Holman of Thor Racewear, Torsten Holman original racewear. Gabors winning in 71 and 72, both times for Suzuki as a factory rider in the 250 category, all of which have, we've only ever had 250 Grand Prix here, bar one, 1985, which was won by Dave Strybos. Oh, Tony Cairoli just getting hooked up there on one of those waves, just into the finish corner. DeSalle over the line, Cairoli just over a second behind him. Again, just gets a bit of a kick when he lands off the finish line jump. Oh, and he runs wide. Goes too deep. And the advantage that DeSalle had suddenly comes back to Cairoli. Just ran a little bit too deep in the berm. Oh, the back end getting kicked there as well. Gonna have to maintain his focus here. Watch how he just cuts across here, look, Tony Cairoli. No line, but then he creates one. Looking ready to pounce is Cairoli. 12:20 left on the clock. Takes a tighter inside line. Switches to the right as we look at it. Clement DeSalle, Cairoli getting ready to dive up though, but it's going to be a right-hander at the end of the straight. Not going to be close enough to go through there. Again, back marker doing his best to move out of the way. Not sure if he's seen the guys coming through. Looks like it might be Vatitas Buchas, actually, the Lithuanian. 198, yeah. Watch Cairoli through here, gets the distance, jumps that. Oh, he was jumping to that one right to the base of the jump a lap ago, 2 laps ago. A real game of chess. Oh, again, buries the front end deep. Clement DeSalle. They're the little mistakes he's just got to avoid. Cairoli will be aware that there's been more than 1 or 2 mistakes creeping in as Roy Matheson looks on. Cairoli just looking to see where the lines are, where the traction is. Everybody hanging out over pit lane. Strybos still in again, another mistake from DeSalle, just burying it too deep in the first turn. Real tense moments for DeSalle. He's doing a great job weathering the storm here. Soaking up the pressure like a sponge at the moment, but is it only a matter of time? Cairoli right reverts back to the inside line through there. Turn 3. Strybos only 5.7 seconds down on these guys. It was faster than both of them on that last lap. 1:44.2 for DeSalle, a 43.8 for Cairoli, a 43.3, so half a second quicker than Cairoli was Kevin Strybos. Ken Dyker quicker still by another 0.2 in 4th position. He's only 7.3 seconds, and that was a group of riders coming down the hill there in the background. If we go out to a wide shot here, you'll just see them start to come into view there in the background, and Dyker trying to go around Van Hoorbeek. I think he's made his way through. Either that or Van Hoorbeek was trying to re-challenge. There you go, double-double, Cairoli. So DeSalle, Cairoli, Strybos to Dyker, Van Hoorbeek, the top 5, but then 9 seconds further back, Gauthier Paulin in 6th position, only going to be picking up, 15 points for that, compared to the 22 potentially for Tony Cairoli if he stays where he is. Could be 25, of course, if he finds a way past Clement DeSalle. Bobryshev is 7th, Margul is 8th, so the 2 Honda World Motocross riders line astern, albeit about 5 seconds apart. Rui Gonçalves now 9th on the MX1 Race in KTM, as we pick up the battle for 3rd. So Strybos 3rd, over the line now to Dyker 4th, then it'll be Van Hoorbeek, but just 1.2 seconds separate Clement de Sal, our race leader on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 machine, and the Red Bull KTM factory rider, Tony Cairoli, as we head into the closing, the climax of this race. We've got 9 minutes plus 2 laps to go. It's still a long way from being decided between these two, de Sal and Cairoli. Kevin Strybos goes through third. There's De Dijker all over the back of him. So we've got 3 Belgians in the top 4 places. Tony Cairoli, the odd one out in second position in that respect, but De Dijker going after the Suzuki. Up on the pegs, around the outside, carrying a lot of speed around there. As he looks to do something about Kevin Strybos. His teammate, though, Clement de Sal, looks up and sees 2 or 3 back markers. Wonders how they're going to come into play. Both riders just getting kicked there in that corner. 2 steps for Cairoli. Looks like AJ August just there, number 95. The Latvia Elchny Honda rider just moving aside. Oh, Cairoli just getting a wicked kick there. Barragan is closing in on him. That's 19th place on the STR KTM over the line now. De Dijker, as he found a way through on Strybos. He had that momentum, didn't he? And stole it straight down the inside. Just here, look, through the chicane, turn 5, turn 6. Great bit of riding there from De Dijker. Clement de Sal continues to lead Tony Cairoli, but a moment ago, Ken De Dijker did keep that momentum going around that difficult turn 5 and found a way to drop on the inside of Kevin Strybos through the next left-hander, and he's moved himself into 3rd. So Strybos now 4th, Van Hoorbeek 5th, Paulan 6th, because Bobachet in 7th, Nagel 8th, Gonçalves 9, Roulant is 10th, and they've all completed 15 laps. We're waiting for Sean Simpson to come through in 11th on the JK SKS Gebben Yamaha. He's ahead of Philip Arts, Caro. Searle now 14th, Lansu, Guarnieri, Brackett, Soderberg, Barragan, and just Barragan lapped about a half a lap ago by these 2 guys as Cairoli slams his way down the inside of Clement de Sal, who gets short on the double jump. Wow, what a reaction he will get from Clement de Sal, because Cairoli barnstormed his way down the inside. He's been trying outsides and insides the whole moto. I was talking to somebody yesterday about the first turn incident in Latvia a week ago. Watch Cairoli here, down the inside, gets on the gas, locks up. De Sal knows he's there, but he just clean goes for the front wheel. He gets over the double jump. De Sal was short. So what kind of reaction will he get now from De Sal? Will he react? Will he go back after Cairoli? On board with Rui Gonçalves. Gonçalves still in 9th place. There's De Dijker 3rd. There's Strybos 22 in 4th. Here's Van Hoorbeek 89 in 5th on the green Kawasaki. So 16 laps complete. We've got just under 6 minutes plus 2 laps to go in MX1 Race 1. It's round 12 of the FIM MX1 Motocross World Championship, the Finnish Grand Prix at Ervinka. About 50k north of Helsinki, the capital in the south of the country. Haven't been here since 1991, albeit a different racetrack back then, just the other side of the road. Rui Gonçalves looking interested, going back after Nagel for 8th place. So the MX1 Racing KTM, of course owned by Kimi Räikkönen, Formula 1 driver. He's here today watching. Xavier Borg decided not to go out in the race. He had a big crash over the double jump yesterday in qualifying. He decided to jump off. He landed okay, but then the bike flipped and landed on his leg, gave him the biggest dead leg. Barely walking on it this morning, decided to sit out. So the only MX1 Racing KTM rider, Rui Gonçalves, there in 9th place. The guy to his left in the red, number 12, Max Nagel, Honda World Motocross Racing. See how wicked the track is. Deep through here, big holes, rolling waves. And the KTM rider looking to charge down the inside of the German, and he makes it stick, but then he's not going to get over the double jump, or is he? Yes, he does, just. So he finds a way back into 8th place. So good fighting spirit from Gonçalves. with about 4:20 left. Plus 2 laps, of course. Lap time about 1:41. If you're Cairoli, 1:45 that time around for De Sal, so there isn't going to be a reaction from De Sal. That might come post-race in the interview. Ludwig Soderberg just ahead of Strybos, just about to be lapped. He's in 18th place. Impressed with Davide Granieri, actually, the Marchetti Racing KTM rider in 17th. Did free practice yesterday, skipped every other session. There he is, just at the bottom of the hill here, coming towards us with the orange helmet, number 39. Just been lapped by De Dijker, but it's going to be points on the board for Granieri. 4 if he stays where he is. Really riding through the pain barrier. We'll have to ask him about the ankle in the live show, MX Live TV at 2:15. When he'll be one of my guests alongside Max Anstey as Strybos just taking a little bit of a dip there in the front wheel. Of course, we'll have Stefan Everts, the MX2 Red Bull KTM team manager as well, on the show. Don't forget, you can send your questions to us. Hashtag MXGP Live. Get them in now and we'll be able to get them to our riders at some point during the show. Here's Rui Gonçalves, though, back in 8th place. He is 7 seconds down on Evgeny Bobashev, so about 4 laps to go. Can't see him closing in on the big Russian, but he worked hard to get back onto the rear wheel of number 12 here, Max Nagel, on the World Motocross Racing. To himself, not riding 100% at the moment. Antti Pyränen, team manager, MX1 Racing. Retired at the end of last year, picked up the job as manager for that team. Of course, doing a good job for him as well. Bit of a perfectionist, actually. Nothing wrong with that, though. Van Hoorbeek, number 89. Guy ahead of him in the light blue is Heron Bracker in 16th position. He's a lap down. The guy in yellow ahead of him is Kevin Strybos, currently in 4th place. Just hear Van Hoorbeek shouting at Heron Bracker. Move out of the way, I'm coming through. Oldest trick in the book, that one. Looking good. Van Hoorbeek here in the closing stages of the race. Number 89. Got a good start. Big panic ref from somebody there in the background, but Strybos looks like it's going to be a matter of time before Van Hoorbeek goes charging through. See the ruts, gnarly ruts on the takeoff of that double jump. And Van Hoorbeek getting ever so closer. He's whittled that gap down to half as what it was, and he's looking to make a move up the inside at the end of the straight. Late on the brakes, up the inside. Lets Strybos know he's there. He did well to keep that turn. And not go through Strybos, the number 89, Van Hoorbeek. So 19 laps complete for our race leader, Tony Cairoli. Van Hoorbeek going round the outside of Strybos. So final corner over the Monster Energy finish line jump. 19 laps complete for these guys. Looking to square off. Gets on the gas. Look how easy that was. So Van Hoorbeek then up into 4th place now. Strybos being pushed back down to 5th and number 22 on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki. So the lead factory Kawasaki rider, Kawasaki Racing Team, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, watch this, was wide in turn 1 and then got on the gas, turned it early. Strybos was wide, defending the inside on the way in, but left himself open on the way out. And then we see the flash of green, and that's Van Hoorbeek jumping a little bit longer as well, soaking it up nicely when he landed. Knew there was going to be some braking bumps that he was going to have to jump long into. But Tony Cairoli at this 12th round, 61 Grand Prix career victories to his name at the moment, looking at trying to go for number 62 today. Stayed behind Commander Sal for what seemed like forever, but the last 3 laps stormed his way in just behind the UFO sign there in the background. Showed no remorse as he charged down the inside and almost took the front wheel away from Clément de Sale here, who's now in second position on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki. Third is still de Dijker. 9 seconds further back. Then Van Horby. Then Kevin Strybos. Then it's a gap back to Gauthier Paulin. Another opportunity lost for the Frenchman. Didn't make a good start. Found himself stuck behind traffic for a couple of laps, and then he went for a little off-track excursion when he just caught a jump in the background at the bottom of the hill going in the opposite direction on the takeoff. Both feet were off the pegs, the wrong side of the bike. He landed side saddle, then dragged the feet behind the bike, went off through the infield before rejoining in the corner back on the bike, but it cost him a load of time, which took him another couple of laps to make up Gauthier Paulin to Rui Gonçalves. And then when it looked like he was going to go past the Portuguese rider, the two banged wheels, and that cost him even more time. And since then, he's just not been able to regain his rhythm. And that's why we see him down in 6th place, just ahead of Evgeny Bobryshev, Rui Gonçalves, Max Nagel, and Joel Roulants, the Monster Energy Yamaha rider. There is Gauthier Paulin just going through. Here's Bobryshev. Pleased with the way he rode yesterday, but he knew after yesterday's qualifying race that it was going to be a long weekend's racing today. I'm guessing they'll fix the faces of the jumps for MX2 Race 2, which will go in about an hour and 10 minutes time. But then no more track work for MX1 Race 2, I don't think. The start straight might get a bit of treatment, of course. And just the majority of the faces, the double in the background behind the UFO sign, but Guarneri just dropping down now to 17th. Oh no, he's still there in 17th actually. Bracker just ahead of him in 16th. We're on the final lap. We've had 21 laps complete. Cairoli now 6.6 seconds clear of Clément de Sale, de Dijker 3rd, Van Orbeek 4th, Strybos 5th, Paulin 6th. And we just saw Evgeny Bobryshev, the number 777. He is in 7th place as Toni Cairoli marches on to what looks like 25 points and a victory in Moto number 1 here in Finland. Hasn't been an easy racetrack to come to. De Sale just getting bounced all over the place, trying to look for the smoother lines in the closing stages of this race. Cairoli still up on the pegs though. Still got to maintain 100% concentration when you see how deep and long those ruts are on the faces of the jumps. Takes a look over his shoulder. Knows De Sale is more than 6 seconds behind him. So Toni Cairoli, who won the 2nd race in Qatar, Thailand. Qatar, 2 races in Thailand, 1 in the Netherlands, a double in Trentino and Brazil and Sweden, and a winner in Moto number 2 last week in Latvia. He wins race 1 here in Finland. There's 25 points on the board for him, and once again pulls clear of his main championship rivals, Clément de Sale and Gauthier Paulin. De Sale over the line in 2nd. There's Ken de Dijker, number 9, in 3rd. Van Horbeek over the line 4th, and Kevin Strybos over the line in 5th. There's Gauthier Paulin, 21, just coming out of the final turn. He will take 6th place ahead of the rider in red, Evgeny Bobryshev for Honda World Motocross, as Cairoli parks his bike behind the podium area. Right, where's De Sale? Gives himself a wide berth. Be interesting to hear what he has to say post-race. But Cairoli, more than 6 seconds clear of De Sale in the end by the time the checkered flag fell. And de Dijker bringing his Red Bull KTM home in 3rd. Van Horbeek was 4th, Kevin Strybos 5th. Of course, they've got to do it all again in Moto number 2 a little later on. The track is already gnarly and chewed up and a very, very difficult place to get around. But Clement de Sal was the Get Athena whole shot winner. He'll be looking to turn that into a win in race 2. And that was how de Sal slid his way through. Look at it from the drone cam. About 10 gates over in the white, and then look at that, right across the front of Rui Gonçalves. We'll give you the official results in just a moment, but while the dust settles and the noise get back to more acceptable levels here, we'll just sit and enjoy the peace and quiet for a moment. A little bit of water going down on the track. Hopefully they won't water it for the whole hour. So official confirmation then. Tony Cairoli, 6.7 seconds clear of de Sal in the end. De Dijker third, Van Horbeke fourth, Strybos, Paulan, Bobryshev, Gonçalves. Nagel was ninth, Roulance was 10th. And it was Sean Simpson, Tommy Searle, David Philippart, Mattis Caro, Just Lansu, Heron Bracker, David Egoneri, Ludwig Soderberg, Jonathan Bergen, and August Just. Jeremy Van Horbeke moves up one place in the championship from 8th to 7th. No change though, everybody else ahead of him. And Philippart gains one, moves to 10th. Two movers then in the standings after race 1. Jeremy Van Horbeke and David Philippart's both gaining positions, but just to reconfirm, race 1 result, Tony Cairoli was your winner from Clement de Sal, Ken de Dijker, Jeremy Van Horbeke and Kevin Strybos. They were your top 5. With Gauthier Paulan, Evgeny Bobryshev, Rui Gonçalves, Max Nagel and Joe Roulance finishing in 10th. 24, Sean Simpson was 11th. Tommy Searle got back to 12th in the end. David Philipparts was 13th. Mattis Caro was 14th. Just Lansu was 15th. Heron Bracker, David Egoneri, Ludwig Soderberg, Jonathan Bergen and August Just were your top 20-point scorers in race 1. Well, Tony Cairoli was our winner in race 1. Here he is.
Tony, we've seen the last few GPs, that knee injury you picked up in Majora has still been giving you a bit of trouble, but you looked out there today a lot more comfortable on it.
Yeah, today the knee is going much better every week. Week after week I feel better, and I only missed a little bit training, and I was a little bit tired during this moto. On the first 20 minutes I was struggling a little bit, and Clement was riding really good, and then in the end I find again some good speed and some good rhythm and tried to pass him. And he's a tough guy to pass, but I find there's the right place to go inside and pass, and then pull away a little bit and make this win on this heat. I'm really happy, and first time we ride here in Finland, and it's great to be here, and thanks everybody for supporting me.
Thanks Tony, we'll see you for the second race.
As we said at the top of the programme, MX1 never been here before. For a Grand Prix since 2004, so it's new for everybody. It's a tough racetrack as well, but eventually found a way through and went on to win by more than 6 seconds in the end, did Tony Cairoli, but Clement de Sal made him work very, very hard for it. He was second, and in a moment we will listen to what he has to say as he's just waiting down there behind the podium area, getting ready to speak to Amy Dargan. But here is our second place finisher, Clement de Sal.
Clement, a really strong start to that first race. A few small mistakes started to creep in towards the end, which unfortunately allowed Tony to pass.
Yeah, exactly. I make a good start. I'm really happy about it. Finally, a shot for me. That's good. And yeah, I was riding good and then concentrate to make some strong lap. And yeah, just some small few mistakes, but that's normal in that condition. And yeah, Cairoli blocked past me a little bit. So I mean, it's no problem. It's racing. So I will push hard to try to beat him. And you know, just one problem about the lap rider again. We are coming in and then we lose so much time and makes big difference. So that's really disappointed. And we'll try to make a good start for the second moto and good race.
Well, best of luck for second race.
No problems with the pass then from Cairoli to DeSalle, but just back markers seem to be the problem in moto number 1, but he was pleased with his start, so if he gets another one, maybe he can make some changes to the bike if it needs any, of course, and see if he can turn that second into a win. If he does that, he'll win the overall Grand Prix. That was one of the mistakes there, though, running wide. That was while he was still leading the race. But third in moto number 1 was Red Bull KTM Factory Racing's Ken de Dijker, Belgium. He passed Van Hoorbeek in the closing stages. Let's hear what he has to say.
Ken, we spoke before the race about how it's best to tackle this track. It worked out well for you in the first race.
Yeah, it went okay, not well. I think I was riding not so good. Bad start, and then coming through the pack, I didn't want to go too fast because it's a tough track and it's hard and it's warm also. So it's been a long few weeks with GP after GP. So yeah, I hope the second motor goes better this year. Every second motor was better, so I hope for this time also.
Thanks, Ken. Third place for you in moto number 1.
Looking for a bit of improvement then, de Dijker for moto number 2. If he gets a good start, hey, guess what? He could be challenging Tony Cairoli and Clément de Salle as a possible overall Grand Prix victor here in Finland. That'll just be another 40 minutes then for these guys around this tough sandy circuit, but so far it's Tony Cairoli who holds all the aces with a win in moto number 1. Here's what happened. MX1 Race 1. The gate dropped. Cairoli made a good jump, so too did Nagel, but then he got out-dragged. And as Rui Gonçalves thought about taking the whole shot from out of nowhere, it was Clément de Salle who swept across on the Suzuki. Gonçalves was second, Strybos was third, Cairoli was fourth, but then Rui Gonçalves, he started to drop backwards, he made a mistake, and then started getting caught, passed by the other guys around him. He would eventually finish in 8th place. Dropped to 9th briefly. This was the moment from Gauthier Paulin. Landed side saddle off the side of the track. He fought hard to get back on, and he did successfully, but it cost him a lot of time. So too did this. Caught the rear wheel of Rui Gonçalves, but then all eyes were on this battle between first and second. Clément de Salle and Tony Cairoli, who eventually stormed his way through with a few laps to go, and then pulled out to get about 6 seconds clear of the Belgian. De Dijker was in third, but it was 2 Belgians fighting over fourth. Just saw there Van Hoorbeek going down the inside of Strybos. But Cairoli went on to win the race. De Salle was second. De Dijker was third. Well, that's all we've got time for. MX1 Race 1 will disappear for now. We've got our live show on MX Live TV at 2:15. And then, of course, on the top of the hour at 3 o'clock local time, we will be back for MX2 Race 2. So don't go away, and we'll see you shortly with our live show. Of course, my guests are Max Anstey, Stefan Everts and Davide Guarnieri. We'll see you then. Bye for now.